Hi, my name is Meredith Moss, and in exam video 6, I have chosen to do prompt 1, discussing prokaryotic transcriptional regulation. In this video, it can be assumed that all regions of the person and genes for activators or repressors are wild type. An operation is a cluster of coordinatley regulated genes. It includes structural genes, which generally encode enzymes, regulatory genes, which are activators or repressors, and regulatory sites, such as promoters and operators. The type of gene control is defined by the response of an operation when no regulatory protein is present. In the case of negative control, the genes in the operon are expressed unless they are switched off by a repressor protein. In the case of positive control, genes are expressed only when an active regulator protein or an activator is present. Inducible operons are turned on in response to metabolite that regulates the person. Repressible operons are switched off in response to a small regulatory molecule. In this video, I'll be focusing on positive repressible transcription gene regulation. In positive repressible operons, the activator proteins are normally bound to the pertinent DNA segment. However, when an inhibitor is bound by the activator, it is prevented from binding the DNA. This stops activation and transcription of the system. Repressor genes and genes that decrease gene transcription. A repressible operon under positive control has an operon that is normally on and gets turned off by the regulatory activator protein, releasing the DNA at the upstream control element. This happens only in the presence of a repressor protein or a small effector molecule, which is often the product of the pathway enzymes or the operon controls. These operons contain a promoter, which is the RNA polymerase binding site, an operator, which is the binding site for a repressor protein. A repressor protein is that turns off the expression of genes. The repressor protein works by binding to the gene, preventing the production of mRNA. When no repressor molecule is present in the system, RNA polymerase is generally always bound to the promoter. Thus, gene transcription is on. A great example of a positive repressible system is the tryptophan operation. The TRP operation found in E. coli is a group of genes that encode for the amino acid tryptophan. The TRP operation is turned on when tryptophan levels are low and repressed. When they are high, the TRP repressor binds and blocks transcription only when the tryptophan is present. When tryptophan is around, it attaches to the repressor molecules and changes their shape so that they become active. A small molecule like tryptophan, which switches the repressor into its active site, is called a co-repressor. Thank you all for your time.